Colby Covington just got dropped from the UFC roster. Now, for a second, I was like, okay, well, he's gonna go to the RAF and he's gonna help promote the RAF. Then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I was like, what if he's gonna go to MVP, or what if he's gonna go to the PFL? Now, why would he go to the PFL? I don't really know if that would make sense for him, but the MVP fight card would make a little bit more sense in my opinion. That being said, I think the MVP and the PFL should get married to each other. And hear me out. Here's why. The PFL has a fighting roster but can't seem to get attention the way they want to garner attention. With Jake Paul, they can garner more attention using the MVP name. And if they get together, the MVP, would have basically a roster of fighters that could actually, perform and generate buzz and stuff like that as well. In the same breath, I'm sure like Jake Paul could take these fighters who are like no names and then use the RAF method where you have like at the top of the bill, like well-known fighters who you could put in there, and then have at the bottom of the bill like all these new up and coming fighters as well. So that way you can get like, basically the way RAF has it, right? You have all these actual wrestlers in the RAF, and then you have like these UFC level like fighters at the top of the bill, at the top of the fight card essentially. So I think that would be the best way for them to kind of do it and promote themselves as well. I did feel like personally like Colby Covington had more to give to the UFC, but that being said, it's going to be quite interesting to see what his next moves will be, especially leaving the UFC and then leaving possibly. Well, he did that podcast right with Ariel Helwani, and he seemed pretty upset, right? Like he seemed pretty upset where his first one came out with Submission Radio, and he was like pissed off about Hunter, Hunter, and is it Hunter Campbell? Yeah, Hunter, whatever you want to say. He was pissed off with Hunter, and then comes back and says, "Okay, I'm grateful, whatever the case is." And then all of a sudden pivots to, "Yeah, I'm actually happy, really proud of the UFC for giving me all I have," and blah 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 blah. And then decides to now like leave the roster. Now I wonder whose decision that was. Was it the UFC who told him to leave the roster, to leave the UFC, or was it his decision to leave the UFC? Which I believe he probably decided to leave the UFC because he's probably wanting more money than the UFC probably believes he's worth, because he's been losing fights. In the same breath as well, like his last fight with Joaquin Buckley, I know it was like a last minute turnaround, and he did come in out of shape, so I felt like he still had a little bit more to give to the UFC. Most fans, I don't think will really like him anyway. So most fans, I think, will be excited or happy that he's gone. However, I liked his personality with the whole Josh Hokett stuff as well. And you have like his version of that. You have Josh Hokett, you had Chael Sonnen, you had Conor McGregor. I really like the fighters like Arnold Allen, who are actually more authentic and like genuinely quite funny. Because I saw his interview with Ariel Helwani earlier today. So yeah, but that's my thoughts on that. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Cheers.